Hi guys, it's Dr. Hardy, your pediatric obesity expert. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a parent who reached out to me. And what she told me is that she thinks her daughter fits into a night eating disorder criteria. And if you haven't listened to that video on YouTube, please check it out so you can know the criteria that I'm talking about. But she says her child seems to fit into most of the criteria. However, there's one major difference. And that difference is that her child claims to have no recollection of eating in the middle of the night. So her daughter gets up and eats in the middle of the night. There's evidence all over the kitchen. There's bowls in the sink. There's open wrappers. And in the morning, when she is confronted, she says she doesn't remember eating. So what do you think, people? Do you think she's pulling her mother's leg? If you really want to know, stay tuned and let's talk about it. So why is this important? This is important to the pediatric obesity expert because many studies already have shown that sleep hygiene and sleep disorders are directly linked to weight gain. Yes, so if you're not getting adequate sleep, or if you're disturbing your circadian rhythm, like night workers or people that are up in the middle of the night and sleeping during the day, and you're just off of your circadian rhythm, this has been proven to be linked to increased weight gain. So healthy sleep is tightly linked to hormonal balance and metabolic pathways that have an effect on appetite regulation. And healthy sleep is also influenced by adequate exercise and diet. So do you see how this whole pathway links together? Okay, so let's pull up some studies on my phone. All right, so I found a study here. It's a Korean study of over 6,000 children aged 10 to 18 years, and they found that shorter sleep duration was related to overweight and obesity and central obesity. So the less sleep kids are having, the more they're gaining weight, basically. Another study showed that acute sleep deprivation was associated with increased food-seeking behavior, craving of unhealthy foods. Okay, so let me repeat that. It was shown to be associated with increased food-seeking behavior and craving of unhealthy foods. So again, let's see another study. They had kids with 1 night of total sleep deprivation, and then they measured activity in their brain the next morning, and it showed that the group of kids that were deprived of sleep had increased activity in the hunger and reward areas of the brain when compared to control groups who did not have that acute sleep deprivation. So there's just more and more studies coming out linking sleep to weight. So what I commonly see in clinic is kids who are overweight, obviously, but they all tend to be on electronics for hours a day. But not only that, because that increases sedentary behavior, but they're up in the middle of the night on it, and so they're not getting adequate sleep at night. This is the major culprit. TV, laptop, computer, screen time, basically. So we're seeing more kids, the more screen time they have, they tend to be up in the middle of the night with this screen time. And these are the kids that are making poor choices. They're sneaking food, and it's usually processed, and they're overweight. And it's because once they're in this rhythm, there's reward centers in the brain that are stimulated that increases their hunger, and specifically for unhealthy things. And I can totally relate to that because when I'm on call, I do 24-hour shifts. And when I'm on call in the middle of the night, or I'm running to a delivery at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm hungry and I'm looking for, processed snacks. I'm looking for my Cheez-Its in the doctor's lounge. Like, I'm not looking for the apple in the doctor's lounge. there are apples, there are healthy choices, and there's no way at 3 in the morning that that's my choice. So I can totally relate to this study. I believe it, and especially like night shift workers, nurses, doctors that do different shifts, their circadian rhythms off, their sleep rhythms off, and we tend to make poorer choices, and we're the ones helping people and trying to keep them healthy. So I'm very aware of that, and so I pack all my healthy snacks, and I just avoid the doctor's lounge in the middle of the night most of the time. If I forget to pack, then I know what it is already. I know what's going to happen. So back to the question at hand. Is this child pulling her mother's leg? Is she making it up, saying she doesn't remember? Well, it's possible, but to give her child the benefit of the doubt, there is a sleeping disorder where you don't remember what you did in the middle of the night. It's called sleep-related eating disorder, and you are truly asleep. It's a parasomnia. You are truly asleep, and you truly have no recollection that you were eating in the middle of the night. It is not a common parasomnia in the general population, but it is one that exists. So she may need a real sleep study to see if she has this parasomnia. So, ma'am, to answer your question, your child may need a formal evaluation. And one of the first things they're going to ask you is the medications that she's on. So there are some medications that can cause sleep-related eating disorder. One is sedatives, sedative hypnotic medications, and psychotropic medications. So if your child is on any of these types of medicines, this can be the culprit. So make sure to bring a list of all medications that your child is on, and then you'll basically be ahead of the game, okay? So I wish you the best of luck in this. I hope that you find out and get, some relief about it, because if you do, you can help your child with preventing further weight gain, because you said that was an issue. And also, there can be trust again, that she's not lying, that she truly doesn't remember, and it can help your relationship with your daughter. So, what are the take home points? The take home points are: healthy sleep is tightly linked to a healthy weight. Another take home point is that any type of sleep deprivation is obesity promoting. So if you think of your children, they're not getting sleep, think of that as obesity promoting. You're promoting them to have an unhealthy weight, and maybe that'll motivate you more to make sure they're in a good sleep routine and that they have good sleep hygiene. And last, sleep is a comorbidity of obesity, meaning it's a related illness with obesity, and so it will be used in the evaluation and management of any child that is being seen for overweight or obesity. We have to know how your child is sleeping, and if your child is not sleeping well, that's one of the areas where your doctor will have you work on with your child. I hope this helps someone, and I'll see you in the next segment.